Hey everybody, welcome to Journey Through the Generations. I feel like I need to introduce myself. We might have some new people listening to the podcast. My name is Phillip.
Hey guys, my name is Trisha.
And we are Journey Through the Generations, and we are here with another episode. Today we're going to bring you some news from the genealogy world, just talk about what's going on, some different conferences that are going on, and a few things here and there. And we're going to make this simple and easy to follow, and hopefully you will learn something today, right?
That is correct.
All right. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I talk about is the conferences, because in the last 2 years, everything's been virtual and we haven't been able to actually attend any genealogy conferences, even though they've still been going on virtually. But this year, well, I guess next year, 2023, Roots Tech is going to be a hybrid conference. So it's going to be some in person and some virtual, which I think is going to be fabulous.
Yeah, I think people will be excited about it because we've been away from conferences for over 2 years now, and people are just wanting to be able to go to these conferences and like actually talk to people
and get back to normal, because that was actually the last conference we went to before COVID hit, like for real.
Yeah, March 2020. We got back like on March 3rd or something like that, and I stopped working on March like 12th or something like that.
Yes.
So we were walking around, and we've talked about it on the previous podcast. We were walking around the airport in Salt Lake City and Denver with no mask on, and
nothing.
Didn't know anything like what was going to happen over the next 2 years still going on. So I think Roots Tech is good. I'm looking forward to it. We're going.
Yes, we will be going in person
and being there in person. So if you are listening and you will be there, look for us, because I'm sure we'll have our t-shirts on.
And we're influencers again this year, so we'll definitely have some upcoming episodes about what to expect, and sessions and expo halls and everything else that we'll be able to tell you about the conference. The conference is actually in March this year, March 2nd through the 4th of 2023.
Yep. And I think if you're not familiar with Roots Tech, it's the largest genealogy conference in the world.
Absolutely.
It really is. We've been there 2 times.
Yes.
Twice in person. Mm-hmm. And then we, of course, attended the virtual ones the past couple of years.
Yes.
But it is the world's largest genealogy conference. They have all kinds of genealogy topics for you, all different kinds of culture.
Cultural events.
Yes, and they talk about all different kinds of things, and so surely there's something for everybody.
Yes, everybody
at that conference.
No matter what you're researching, whether you're a beginner or advanced professional, no matter where you are in the world, what you're researching, this conference has something for you. For sure.
So if you want to learn more about Roots Tech and the conference, go to rootstech.org. You can subscribe to get notifications for when they open registration, because we don't know how much it's going to cost yet, and they haven't released hotels and that kind of thing. But if I were you, I would go ahead and start looking at hotels now, because the hotels close to the convention center will sell out, no doubt about it,
very quickly.
We've had to stay in Airbnbs. And one time we stayed in a hotel that was kind of far away, the hotel, and then we did the Airbnb. It was like a 25 minute walk. So so you definitely want to go early. And let me just give you a pro tip. Okay, here's a travel pro tip you might not know. This is what I've done. What you want to do is reserve a hotel room now, okay? And then when the block of hotel rooms come out, if there's one price or at a hotel that you like better or that you've gotten that's better than the price you get today, then you can just cancel your reservation for the day and get the one that Roots Tech is offering. So at least you already have a hotel if, one of their host hotels doesn't fit for you, your budget or whatever it is. At least you have a hotel room that's close.
Yeah, so that's true.
I've already reserved our hotel room.
Thank you for that.
So we're good to go. But when that block of rooms open, I'm going to check and see if there's a better deal or a better hotel or something like that.
Right.
And then I'll just cancel it. So, all right, we can move on. Now, there's another conference that's coming up even sooner.
Oh, yeah.
Than Roots Tech. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, that's the AUGS conference. That is the Afro-American Historical and Genealogical Society. And it is the biggest African-American genealogy society in America. And they have an annual conference every year. I believe this year is either 44 or 45 years.
I want to say 45.
I think 45 because I think they're the same age as I am. I think you're right. It's going to be a virtual conference this year, and it's in October, the 12th through the 15th of this year, 2022.
Yep, and we've been members of AUGS for, probably 7 years now?
At least, yeah.
And so we have a special place in our heart for AUGS. We have, like I said, been members, but I've worked on the conference committee for 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I worked all the technology and everything for the conference, for the virtual conferences. And then before that, when we were in person, I did a lot of the social media and video work for AUGS. So we've volunteered our time there. We've gone to conferences. I've held a class.
Yes.
Twice?
Twice.
During these conferences. I'm not doing one this year. Maybe next year. But so yeah, we love AUGS. We think it's great. We think it's a good organization and a good conference. So they have a lot of classes, a lot of different topics.
And although it's an African American genealogy society, they have a plethora of classes in basic, genealogy methodology, DNA. And of course, they do touch on African American records, enslavement, things like that. And the thing that I really like about AUGS is that it is not only a genealogy society, but it's a historical society. So even if you're not a genealogist, but you are really into history, this is the society for you because you get a little bit of both.
Yeah, and it's definitely not just for African Americans. I promise you, if you go to that conference, I dare you to come back to me and tell me that you didn't learn one thing from that conference. So, yes. So you're going to learn something about, Black folks. You're going to learn stuff about history, like Trisha said.
Our country's history, yes.
And then at some point, if you're active in your genealogy research, you're going to run across a Black person anyway. So.
This is true.
So anyway, so yeah, I think registration is still open. I think early bird actually ended on the 15th.
Yeah, but you can still register.
But you can still register all the way up until
the day of the conference, I believe.
Yeah. So good there. What else we got?
I just also wanted to give a friendly reminder about the 1950 census. I know we did a whole podcast on it earlier this year when it was released in April, but all 50 states have been indexed. So they did it quicker than I thought that they were going to do. Because I remember when the 1940 census came out, and it took forever to be able to go on to, a family search or, an ancestry and actually search for your family in the 1940 census. So this year, they are on top of it. They have gotten all 50 states indexed in what I think is a real timely manner.
Listen, technology is an amazing thing.
I'm just glad that whoever decided to do it this way, it worked out great.
That's the reason why it didn't take as long, because the technology is so much better. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you haven't heard that episode of us talking about the 1950 census, and we talked about why you have to wait. You have to wait 72 years for a census to come out.
That's gonna be my number: 1950 and 72.
So if you want to hear me talk about that and my very strong opinions about it,
it is a very good episode.
Maybe I'll leave a link to it in the description.
Yes,
but go check it out. But yeah, the 1950 census for me is good because I'm starting to see, I can see people in my family that I know. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like my parents are in there.
Right.
Except my mom. I don't think she is because I haven't been able to find her. That doesn't mean she's not in there, but she was born in 1950.
And in the beginning of the year, so she might be in there.
It just depends.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, they're in there. And then I volunteered when they released all the data. Mm-hmm. I volunteered and I checked, reviewed names and family names and addresses and stuff like that. I think I ended up reviewing over 10,000 records.
Was it that many?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Wow. Well, thank you for that.
Because they had it set up so easy. It was just so easy that you could just run through them really quick. So I spent, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks or something like that working on it. At least,
yeah.
And I should have done more, but I just, with other stuff comes up. But yeah, I feel like I helped.
You did. So, because you did some of Arkansas, didn't you?
Yep, I did most Arkansas before because they released it in phases, not just all at once. And so they didn't make Arkansas available until later. So I did other states until they made Arkansas available. But the most of that 10,000 that I did was Arkansas. So, yeah. So
yeah, you can search the 1950 census on Ancestry.com, FamilySearch.org, and MyHeritage.com for sure.
Cool. Let's talk about Genealogy TV. What's on TV?
Well, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, not just genealogy, family history related, but of all time, Relative Race, is coming back with season 10. I'm just blown away that they have 10 seasons now.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't watched this show, you have to watch
You're missing out. I mean, for real.
It really is a good show. Think it's like Amazing Race, and these teams race around the country meeting their families.
That they've never met before.
They've never met them before. And it's tear-jerking sometimes, but sometimes it's hilarious. Yeah. And so check it out.
Yes.
It's on BYU TV now?
Yes.
Still.
Yes, it's on BYU TV. And of course, they have an app. If you don't get that channel with your cable provider, you can download the app on your Roku, your phone, your whatever you watch TV on.
Yeah, and we'll try to put out some more episodes during the season so we can talk about it every now and then.
Yes, it comes on Sundays, and it premieres September 18th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Oh, that's just in a couple of days. So
that is
cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I watched that show.
And they have a new twist.
Oh, they do?
This season. One of the teams have never met each other, so they're not related.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm not sure if they really had a good story and they wanted to be on there and they didn't have a partner, and so they just partnered them up. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. They haven't released all the details behind it. But yes, one of the teams met literally a month before they started taping. Yeah,
so the teams are usually family members or close friends.
Yeah.
They know each other.
Yeah,
but this particular one, they don't know each other.
No, they're usually
That's
siblings
or
parent and child, cousins, husband and wife. But they always know each other, best friends. This is the first time that they actually have only known each other for a month.
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to need Relative Race to do, and I've been waiting on this for a few seasons now, I need them to figure out how to get two teams to meet at one family member's house, and they find out that they're both related. That's all I need.
I mean,
because I think that would be pretty cool.
If this team that just met is actually related and they didn't know it. Yeah. That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be. So, what other shows are coming on?
Who Do You Think You Are?
Now, which one is that?
That is the one where a celebrity goes to where their family originated from, and then they travel where that family has gone through like migration or moving or whatever, and they end up in a different city.
Oh, so that's not the one with Henry?
No, that's Finding Your Roots.
Okay.
This one, so like they'll start out, for example, in a courthouse in a small town somewhere where their family, like their grandparent, was born, and then sometimes it leads them to halfway across the country. Sometimes it leads them over to Europe. They've been over to China. It just depends on where your family's from, and you literally go to all the places that your family has lived, and it's always a celebrity. So like this year, in the past, it's been Emmitt Smith. He's a football player, right? Mm. He was on there. The lady from Orange is the New Black, Laverne.
Mm-hmm. Laverne Cox.
Yeah, she's been on there. This year, Billy Porter is on there. And it's usually only like 4 or 5 guests. So it's not really a long show because it takes so much for them to be able to research and get, them to all these different places throughout the hour show. It started out on NBC like 10 years ago, and then it moved to TLC. And this year, it's back on NBC. So yeah, Who Do You Think You Are?
So when does it start?
It started a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so it's already
it's out right now.
Okay.
So yeah, and anywhere you watch NBC stuff, you can watch it.
What about Finding Your Roots?
That actually comes out, the new season, I think it's season 9, comes out in January. And I'm super excited because some of the people that I love are going to be on there. Carol Burnett is going to be on there. Niecy Nash is going to be on there. Viola Davis, Julia Roberts. So it's...
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Sound like a good season.
Yeah, and this season, I think they said they have more guests than they've ever had before. So it's actually going to be a longer season than any of the other ones. And that one is on PBS.
Okay.
And it comes out in January.
Oh, okay. So it's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, it'll be here before you know it.
Okay, cool.
So that's all I know about TV in the genealogy world. But I also wanted to give a little shout out to Family Tree magazine because they did a feature on me in the July-August 2022 issue. And Phillip is going to tell you all about it. Because I don't want to talk about myself. So Phillip's going to tell you about it.
I will not. That's your article. You talk about yourself.
Really?
Yes. I'll chime in whenever I need to.
Well, we did a whole episode about the display I did in my hometown for Black History Month this past February in honor of the African American high school in my hometown, W.F. Branch High School. And I did a whole display with the Arkansas State University Newport Library, the community college there, and our historical society in Jackson County. And I was able to let one of the ladies that I know from Roots Tech and social media that actually is a contributing editor at Family History Magazine, know what I was doing. And she wrote a little piece about it. And I'm super excited that I was in the magazine. It's on page 5.
Yeah, so if you have that issue, go to page 5, and that's Trisha, and a little story about that. And if you haven't seen it, go buy it.
Yes, and it's online. So you can buy the digital copy. I'm sure your library, if it has the magazine and you don't want to buy it, you can still go look at it. But yes, it's still available for you to purchase if you want to online.
Cool. What's next?
Something that I didn't know about that actually I thought was new that's not new is Ancestry Classroom.
Right. So I saw an email, I think it was an email or maybe it was a tweet, I can't remember, saying that Ancestry Classroom had been launched for 2 countries. And I thought it was something that was they had launched in America, but it's something that apparently Ancestry has had for a while. So the name of it is Ancestry Classroom, and I think it's pretty neat. So apparently what it does is it gets the next generation of researchers or students, the students at the school, start to find their families and learn more about where they came from, which I think is super cool.
Right,
we need to start doing that. Especially for us, we want to get younger people involved in family research. So, this kind of stuff remains going throughout families. But it provides those educators with access to classroom activities, resources, and some historical records. So I think that's really cool.
Oh, I think it's awesome. I had never heard of it. And so I think maybe Ancestry realized that not a lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
Because right after you mentioned it to me, I saw a video that they did about it, like trying to, I don't want to say rebrand, but advertise it more. And I follow them all the time, and I've never heard them talk about it before.
Yeah, me either.
And maybe it was because it was close to back to school too.
Yeah, maybe. But the good thing is that it's at no cost to this school.
Right.
So if your school doesn't have it and you think it's something important and they should have it, your child's school, then, I guess talk with the history teacher or the librarian or principal, whoever, and see if they can get it. All they need to do, schools need to do, is register for it. And they just need to go to ancestryclassroom.com and sign up. It's there.
And although they won't have access to, everything that Ancestry has to offer, from what I've read, it's a good chunk of information, not only on Ancestry, but on the other sites that they own, such as Fo3 and newspapers.com as well. So that could be a wealth of information for anyone.
Yeah, to me, it's just a starting point, right, for these kids to start. They don't really need, all the deep, intricate, stuff that maybe folks like us and seasoned genealogy researchers or genealogists and family researchers need. They just need basics to get started and start to foster that love of family research. Yeah,
and it also, they'll be able to find their family in history.
Yeah.
And when you're in school and you're learning about the Revolutionary War, that I'm going to speak for myself. I wasn't that interested in it, but if I had known that I had a patriot in my family, that would have, made me so much more interested, and I would have wanted to learn so much more about the war. And not say that war, but it's for any aspect of American history. You'll be able to find your family in it.
Yeah. I saw a stat somewhere during one of these genealogy conferences we've been to, and they said, and I don't remember the stat, but they were talking about that most people don't know anything about anyone in their family past their grandparents or something like that. And that's, kind of sad.
That is sad.
Because that wasn't that long ago.
I mean, no, that's 2 generations removed from yourself.
Yeah. I mean, my great-grandfather died in 1947. That's not that long ago.
So. And I was blessed enough to have my great grandmother until 1991.
Mm-hmm.
So she was 99. I know a lot of people don't, live that long, but so yeah. And just think of all the things that she saw in those 99 years that I didn't think to ask her.
Yeah.
So
definitely, think about getting your child's school involved in that. I think that's
or if you're a teacher
a good deal.
Or librarian, active in the PTA, ancestry classroom.
Yeah. All right. What else? Is that it?
That's all that I have.
All right. Cool. Well, we appreciate you guys for listening. Check out all of these conferences and magazines and things we've talked about today, and hopefully you'll find something in there that'll help you in your research. All right. I think that's about it.
Thanks, you guys.
All right. We're out of here. Y'all take care. Be safe.